Welcome once again to another edition of Tales of the Keg. I'm your host, Larry Mack, here on ESPN Tucson.com. Speaking once again with Rocco from Rocco's Little Chicago Pizzeria. Rocco, welcome once again to Tales of the Keg.
Thanks, Larry. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Great.
So what is going on at Rocco's Little Chicago Pizzeria? I know you got some stuff out there and stuff you want to talk about, and of course some stuff out besides beer you want to talk about too, like some good news with the business.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about the construction outside of Roccos, but inside we're adding a rail for our bar patrons and reopening our bar on August 1st, supposedly. We'll see if it happens.
Well, congratulations. So what does that entail?
Well, instead of the two tables that were constricting the bar access to the west of the building, we're going to have a nice drink rail like a real bar does, so you can set your drink down and chat with your friends. And we're bringing some chairs back and rearranging things so you can sit at our bar for the first time in a year and a half. And patrons have been asking for it, and we're really excited to get it started back up again.
All right, it's been a crazy year and a half, but I can tell that you definitely have worked your way through it. Looks like we're hopefully on the other end of the pandemic, and looks like things are going well for you still.
They're going pretty good. We're getting busy and staying busy, so we're having a good time.
Well, as we head into August and head into September with the summer months starting and the cooler weather just around the corner, but it's still hot outside. What do you have on tap at with the 6 taps that you have going on? Right, I know you switch often, but what do you have on tap now, and what do you have planned for future use?
Well, as usual, we always have the scrumptious Dragoon Pilsner on tap. That's our one tap that we keep constant because it's just a crowd pleaser of a beer. Everybody who from Bud Light fans to craft beer fans will enjoy this beer, and we sell pitchers of it, so it's great. In addition, like the sours are really popular right now, and we have a bunch of them either on tap or waiting in the wings. They're just lip smackingly good. Anybody who likes a margarita would probably like a sour. And it goes with a vast array of our food. Anything spicy, it's good to wash down with. Right now, we've got Ska's Pink Vapor Stew Sour, which strangely enough I think it has beet juice and carrot juice in it, which sounds weird, but believe me, it works.
Say that name again.
It's the Ska, which is the brewery, Pink Vapor Stew.
Pink Vapor Stew. It sounds kind of dangerous.
Yeah, it's not. It's scrumptious.
It's scrumptious. Okay. And so it adds like, is it a sweet?
Yeah, it's a little bit sweet and lip smackingly tart. And, it's like drinking a glass of carrot juice with a lot of beery components laid over it and stuff like that. It's good for you. Let's just say that.
How often do you switch out your taps during the summer?
Well, it depends on how fast you guys drink them. If you want to move on to the next beer, then start drinking, guys. But we always have another keg of the same or similar style waiting in the wings. When this Ska Pink Vapor Stew goes, we have a fine Dragoon product waiting. It's called Domingo Blueberry Berliner Weiss beer, and Berliner Weiss is kind of the OG of sours. It's a style they've been brewing in Berlin for well over 100 years, and it's a pretty neutral, slightly sour and dry beer, but they always add a fruit syrup to it. In Germany, Dragoon has added blueberries to this, so you don't have to stir some weird syrup in with a spoon like they do in the old country. And that promises to be absolutely fantastic. It's their seasonal this summer.
What would you eat that with?
Strangely enough, the wheat beer with the wheaty component goes great with pizza crust, so it's always good with pizza. And the sours are good for like kind of cutting. The acid cuts the hotness of like the chicken wings and stuff like that, or in the tomato sauce. So strangely enough, it goes well with almost anything, especially in the summer months when it's like a cooling effect because it's so delicious.
Now, if somebody wants to find out what's most recent on your taps over at Roccos, what's the best way for them to find out besides calling you?
Sure, you can. We keep them updated on taphunter.com, and that's linked to our website at roccoslittleschicago.com. So either of those avenues on the internets will get you right into our tap handles, so you can see what's going on right there.
So you got 6 taps. What do you have in cans this month and next?
We still have a few interesting ones, like mostly IPAs and stuff, because people, the IPA aficionados, um, like a weird IPA, and we have quite a few. So I don't even remember what's in there right now. So just that is also on taphunter.com.
Now, if somebody wants to go there and they like what they drink off the tap so much, can they take it home with them?
Yeah, man, we have a growler program. It's very strong, and since we do get maybe one of 3 or 5 kegs that come into Tucson a lot of times, because our distributors know we like the weirder beers. You might want to grab a growler on your way out the door, because you might not find it at your local liquor store or Safeway. You know what I'm saying?
How big are the growlers? Are the different sizes?
They're 32 ounces, so that's depending on how your appetite, that'll last the rest of the evening for
All
you
right.
and a friend.
Well, that's fantastic. What about any other things going on? Obviously, you've been fighting the construction for the last year and a half, but it seems like it hasn't hurt you. Seems like business has been booming for Roccos through the pandemic. Are you looking forward to coming out on the other side of this now that it looks like we might be coming out on the other side of this?
Absolutely, we have a few new employees that we're trying to get ready for the crush of when the summer abates. But we're still quite busy on the weekends. And give us a call for a reservation if you're bringing a party in, especially on a weekend night. That'll make sure that you get a seat where and when you want it.
What's the phone number?
321-1860. That's 321-1860.
You should be a DJ, Rocco.
Well,
Or
I don't know if anybody wants to listen to what I like to listen to. So.
or maybe at least a ring announcer.
Sure, we'll do that.
Yeah, Sunday, or it's okay.
Right. Yeah,
So
I'll announce the tractor pulls. That'd be fun.
so coming up, we're going to be ending summer here in the next couple months. So once summer and it starts fading into fall, do you
Sure.
slowly start transitioning the style of beers that you bring in on tap?
Yeah. Well, instead of having maybe a sour and a wheat beer and a lager, we'll maybe have 2 darker beers and a really dark beer. So we'll transition that. Believe me, it's going to be a while. We all know that summer's not really over till October.
That's so
So
true here.
we'll have some effervescent beers for you on tap till then.
So when you say effervescent, what does that mean?
Well, it means fizzy, but I'm talking about like lighter styles.
Mm-hmm.
Although we always have a nice dark beer. Like right now, we have Noche Dulce from Borderlands on, and that's a local beer that's has a huge following and is a real crowd pleaser. And a lot of people, they just want a real big beer, and that one really delivers. But right now, let's see what else we got coming.
Mm-hmm.
We have Sun Brew Kolsch from Phoenix coming. That's a Kolsch is it's kind of a cross between a lager and a blonde ale.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very neutral, but very delicious. And then always a couple of IPAs going on. Right now we have Crooked Tooth, which is a local brewery. They're double hazy IPA, and actually it's the new formula. So they've had this beer for a couple of years, and they recently reformulated it, so it's not quite as murky as it was before. I mean, it was always good, but it's even better than it's ever been. And of course, New Belgium just came out with a new version of their Voodoo Ranger for a summer seasonal, which is one of their best-selling beers. And that's an IPA, and it's called V2K IPA. And this one has notes of guava and grapefruit in it. So
wow.
I know that sounds kind of weird.
Actually,
really
sounds kind of good.
It is really good. The New Belgium doesn't make a bad product. I've actually been to their brewery. It is a flagship for what people should be doing to both employ people and make good products. They really do a great job there in Colorado, man. It's unbelievable.
So what if somebody comes in there and maybe they've only had domestic beers their entire life,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted to come into Rocco's, get some good grub, eat some pizza and whatever, but they're a little bit nervous about trying something outside of what they're used to.
Sure.
How do you educate them, or do you offer samples sometimes to give them an idea?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and anybody can sample any of the beers that we have on draft. And like something like the Sunbrew Kolsch is always a big hit with folks that are domestic, as they call it, a domestic adjunct lager. That's what like Budweiser and everything else is. Then the Dragoon Pilsner is a good next step. It's a little hoppier than you might experience with your MGD or something like that. But it's of the same cut of the same cloth. But also, if you don't want any of that, we have a couple of beers like in can. We have Old Style in cans, a fine Heilemann's product from the Midwest. That's a stalwart that everybody loves, and we also have Walter's Pilsner, which is a very decent and not very expensive German Pilsner in cans that we're selling for pretty cheap, and people really seem to like that too.
All right. Well, Rocco, anything else you want to hit on this episode of Tales of the Keg?
No, I think we're great, and I'd love to see you guys come on in and see our new bar digs as soon as we get everything set up in August.
All right.
Look forward to seeing you guys.
All right. And if somebody wants to, again, check out your menu, also check out what you have on tap, they can go to, obviously, Tap Hunter.
Right.
For the beer, at least.
Taphunter.com. Yeah, taphunter.com, and it's also mirrored on our website at roccoslittlechicago.com.
And if they want to make a reservation for this weekend, they call 520-321-1860.
That's right. That's 321-1860.
I was waiting for that. Well, thanks a lot, Rocco. And once again, thank you for watching another edition of Tales of the Keg here on ESPN Tucson.com.